got the throttle body off, and one of the things that was happening a lot to this engine, because his engine management that he was using due to just flood, it was running way too rich. Like right when I took off the throttle body, I can just smell so much fuel coming out. And when I went to pick it up, he had to change spark plugs, and then it fired right up. But the spark plugs just had so much fuel dumping in there, so before we could start it up for the first time, probably either have to pull the spark plugs or put new ones in there. But I don't want to time lapse all this boring stuff, so I'm gonna keep working on getting all of the engine wiring harness off. And then he plugged the hole that I'll be using for all my wiring coming through, so I have to unplug that. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep getting off all the engine wiring and then turn you guys back on. All right, so I have all the wiring off the engine, and I'm keeping this wire over here. This is the relay and the ground and power that he has going to his engine management system to have the fan turn on at a certain temperature. So I'm going to leave all that. Obviously the battery cables and the positive negative are going into the back, so I'm leaving all that. So that was actually a lot easier than I thought. So now I'm going to be moving in to the car and gonna be taking out all this wiring. I still need to really kind of check it over. I want to make sure I keep the start button in on the fuel pump and the fuel and any power stuff, because obviously I'm putting the C2 box over here where they usually go, so I want to make sure I keep the wires going this way that I still need long enough. Unitronic is the tune I have in the ECU that I have. That's deleted already. Everything fuse box obviously is going over here, so I'm really excited to get all this clutter out of here and simplify this system. I understand this works really good for some people, but I like a turnkey system. I like driving my cars. I don't want to deal with this. And obviously, I've told you guys already, like I'm going to be learning a lot how to weld and how to work on, sheet metal work, and really learning new tools. And I that's something that I know I can just have an ECU, so I don't have to deal with it. So yeah, here we go. Guys, got all the wiring off the firewall, and I'm happy about that mess being out of here. So yeah, now I'm going to go back into the sun and start clipping on the engine harness that I have for that engine. And then I was gonna, if you guys can see that, there we go. I was gonna pound that out and use that hole, because that's like the stock hole for all the wires going to the C2 box, but that is like right in the wheel well, so I don't want to open that up and dirt and everything hitting the rocks coming in here. So I think I'm gonna use those two holes for now. And remember, this is just like a rough draft. Like I'm just doing this so I can drive it a couple times this summer. This winter is going to be the time where we really strip it all down and really get something solid, so this can be a car that I work on, and it's just going to get better and better, But I just want I want to be able to drive it. So I'm just kind of throwing it together and see what happens here. So yeah, I'm going to get the engine harness on, and then I'll throw C2 box in here with the plug and play adapter harness and get the pedal. And then, I need to figure out where I want the power coming from, because obviously the battery's in the back. So I don't think I'll have the power to the C2 box coming from up there. It's going to be here, and I think I can get the power from one of these wires. I think this one. I think this is the wire. I get power going to the C2 box. I still have to get more plugins for the back of the C2 box. I have from the plug and play harness, the engine management system, and then I have the ignition stuff for the rack. I'm going to use just the stock Mark II ignition wires for now, so it's just plug and play for now. This is really cool. I like the system, but if I start driving this on the street and parking and stuff, I don't want someone to come along just to be able to start this thing and go. So I'll obviously put some sort of ignition thing on here at some point. But yeah, let's just, and it's weird because usually I'm doing like how-to videos, and like this is not a how-to. I'm kind of just winging it. I don't really know. I'm just trying different things. So, you know, you guys are coming along with me, and we're gonna put the wiring harness on the engine, put the body harness to work for body harness like we do with the Mark IIs, C2 box, plug and play harness, power, ECU, and oh, spark plugs. We're gonna have to take the spark plugs out and see if we need to put new ones in or just see how they look. So yeah, a lot of talking, more doing. Okay, so not sure where I left off yesterday, but when I was looking at the wiring, setting all the wiring out last night by the car, the injectors for the 225 18T were different. So instead of just rushing and everything, I called it at night last night, came in early this morning, and now I'm back late at afternoon here, and I'm going to, I wired up, because for the Audi 225 engine is the throttle, it's like this one. The intake manifold is on this side. All the other 180s are on this side. So just like I had to do with this one, with the throttle body and the boost sensor, I undid the loom and moved everything over here. So that's the same thing that I did with this, made it look all really nice. So that is a plug and play system now. That's gonna go straight on to the engine. What else? And then I have my interior, I have the C2 box, the main power going to the C2 box, the ground wire, and then this is all the interior stuff, or not the interior stuff, this is all for my headlights and stuff that I'm going to put through at some point. Not right now, because I'm not going to be driving it. I just want to, you know, get the wiring in. So the main, you know, the goal today is to start the car, just have it run and run good, and just operate, you know, how it should with a stock ECU that's, you know, deleted in stage 1 or stage 2. I can't remember what I got. So that's the goal today. So I'm gonna load up all my tools, all the wiring, and get out there. So, little sit rep. I have the engine harness in. I don't have it hooked up to the coils yet because I need to take those out, and I'm going to put new spark plugs in. But everything else is in. I still need to plug in some plugins. The body harness is in. I know it looks a mess right now, but for, you know, getting it going so I can drive this summer, you know, I'll tidy up a little bit, but it's pretty much going to be like this until I rip everything out this winter. So yeah, that's pretty much in. Just need to plug in a couple things. So now I'm plugging in the plug and play harness, and then I'm going to put the C2 box in here, and then I need to figure out how I want to start it. If I'm just going to use the ignition on there and use the start, or with my system that I'm going to have for a little while. The other thing is he didn't have a MAF for what he was doing, and he didn't have a boost sensor, so I totally just forgot. Like, there's no MAF here, so I'm gonna have to go pull that from pick and pull, get a MAF so I can plug in the MAF. So yeah, I mean I got a lot done. I'm glad I got the wiring finally, but I'm gonna plug in the plug and play harness, get my C2 box in there, and then probably call it a day. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. My camera's, it's really hot out here. My camera's out in the sun, so getting a little warm, so I'm going to put it away. But that's pretty much what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to end with plugging in the C2 box to the plug and play harness, and that's probably going to be it. I might look at how I'm going to hook up the fuel relay to the fuel tank and stuff, find the power and ground and stuff, and kind of start thinking about that. But I am glad I finally have the wiring in, and hopefully on the weekend I'll come back and, you know, get this fired up. I'm going to go in town, get some spark plugs, get the MAF, get my boost sensor pipe that my friend welded in, and call it a day.